Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Poke Fodder. On today's installment, I want to go over there were a few changes to some of the cards previously that I want to go over. Their changes, how to get your Mon to the point where they do the changes, and take them into battle. See if I can't trigger the changes and put them to use to see if they are a viable candidate. So what we want to do is we want to go in to the changes, and you see that Charizard is available again, and that is one that we're going to discuss. I don't see... there it is. Nope. That is not it. The stat balance adjustment. So what we've got is we've got Charizard with Speed Booster. He's going to change Iron Tail to Dragon Tail. And most importantly, what's going to happen to this is if you evolve from Charmeleon into Charizard, instead of Charizard being a 1 MP, it is going to gain to 2 MPs. So that makes it, with the evolution, you're going to get the plus 10, plus the 1 extra star, but you're also going to get an extra MP on the movement. Definitely want to check that out. We've got Zygarde with Dragon Breath 80 changing to 100, Landswrath changing from 60 to 70, and Landswrath allows you to spin everybody else on the board, and if they land on a purple, they're knocked out, sent back to the PC. And there's a new plate with that too that I want to try. You've got Metagross, who changes Metal Claw 80 to Metal Claw 90, but the biggest change to him is this rapid calculation. What that's going to do is, if you're going against a Reuniclus deck or against a Deoxys deck, they're not going to be able to respin as long as Metagross is on the field. So you have to keep him on the field, but that is definitely an improvement. And then you have Tyranitar, who is going to go from bite 40 to bite 50. They switched location of pieces on the board and decrease the miss, which is nice. And if you evolve him from Pulpitar, you're also going to gain 1 MP on that as well. So those are the Pokemon: Tyranitar, Metagross, Zygarde, and Charizard that we're going to throw in. So let me go to my decks and edit my figures. We want to throw in Zygarde, and we want to put in Charizard, but not yet, because we want to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to scroll back up here and drop in Metagross there, so we can test out that ability possibly. We want to go down here to Charmeleon, who is a common. Now, if you were to evolve from Charmander all the way up, it would be ridiculous. The problem is once you reach a certain level, 40 and 10 is not going to get... You're never going to beat anybody with that unless they roll miss to trigger the first evolution, which you would then have to defeat somebody with Charmeleon in order to trigger the Charizard evolution. So very, very difficult if at the higher ranks. So we're not going to go there, because I do want to show you guys the evolution chain. And to do the evolutions, this little square with the circle under there shows how many possible evolutions there are. And we want to drop in our Charizard. Notice that he's 1 MP, basically, if you use him without the evolution. So we're definitely going to use the evolution. And then we want to go and grab Mr. Pulpitar. He's always one that's harder for me to find, because I can't remember. Where is he? There he is. Again, he has the evolution, and we already knew that. So we're going to put Tyranitar again. If you'll notice, just 1 MP, so he will move up to 2 MPs. And then the last one that I want to add in here is, and you know, actually, Larvitar with a 70, it is possible to evolve from stage 1. If you can roll the 70, it's a little more difficult, but it is doable even at higher levels. I'm not going to do it today because I do want to have the possibility of within 1 match showing the evolution chain. But that is one that if you want to try to do the 3 evolutions, it is definitely possible. So keep that in mind. If you do have all 3, I wouldn't do more than 1 of my cards like that, but that is one that I could recommend using for a triple evolution, and then Tyranitar would just be a monster. The final one, I keep missing him, is, where's this little guy? He's not a common. There. Nope. It's a Flygon. So there. Those are the 5 that we're going to be concerned with, because Flygon gains some interesting capabilities if you can trigger the evolution. And I've not talked about Vibra very much, but basically you can't pass him on 1 move. You can't attack. As soon as you come up to the space next to him, your move ends. And he can trigger his evolution. He's got a 70. He's got a 70. I have a chain link on it, so it makes it a 71. So he can bump up to the evolution of Flygon. And then with Flygon, Soar no longer works on the for your opponents. So that's great. And then I can't remember. There was something else, but we'll get into that. Oh, Flyaway doesn't work. So there you go. And we need to throw in 1 more. And I don't even know. I've got a 3 MP. I'm going to put in another runner. I'm just going to put a Mew just to have another runner. And I do want to edit my plate so I can put Land's Wrath in there. Land's Energy, I'm sorry. It is a 1, so I'll take out one of my double chance, put in Land's Energy. So there we go. We've got the team all set up, and since I am not super familiar with this squad, I'm just going to run into a room match. And we'll just Mr. Pepe here. Boom. There we go. We're all set up. Okay, so he's got 2 Gabites. Wow, 2 Gabites, a Dragonair, 2 Lapras, and I don't remember what the 6th one was. Salmons. Okay, so definitely some possibilities here for evolutions. Definitely an interesting squad because I can attack Gabite. He is going to go first, and he's going to be pinned in. Now, I'm not going to play this with the same strategy I would if I was trying to actually win. I want to try to trigger some of these evolutions and show some of the special powers. I'm not going to be able to show Metagross because he does not have any of the respin cards. But as long as Metagross is on the field, that is that. So now he's going to go there. You know what? I didn't even check to see if he had hurdle jumps. Probably should have done that. Darn, I can't attack there. So let's just throw Mew up the side here. Again, I'm playing this way different than I would. I actually do want it to be a good match. He doesn't have any hurdle jumps, so we're not worried about that. I'm going to take her up the side here. And then hopefully he brings his Lapras up. I do have 2 1 MP Mons on the field. And the 2 that I want to evolve, I can't even attack with. So that's kind of a bummer there. Metagross to the corner. I don't even know. 50, I'm going to need an X attack. I do have the X attack. I can't use it. Alright. Hopefully he just rolls a miss. He didn't. So that's awful. This is not turning out so good so far. I don't even know if I can get 2. Did I put the wrong? I need to double check. That would have been a great one. Zygarde, no. Oh, it's Landsrath. This is 70. Okay. Man, if there was ever a time for Charmeleon to evolve there, that was it. You're having no luck so far. This video is going to go down as one of the top 5 worst YouTube videos on gaming. I might just drop Gabite down there. In which case, I would probably X attack. Alright, so see, he could not attack me because once you go next to him, your turn is over. I could hurdle jump and then try for, I think I can hurdle jump. Yeah, I'm going to hurdle jump just so I don't get surrounded, because this would be a really bad video if my guy got surrounded and all my other guys got knocked out. So we're going to move over here. I will attack somebody, I promise. May end up getting surrounded, but I'm going to throw down a double chance. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to get surrounded and knocked out. Yeah, it's a 20 is terrible, so let's see if I can roll something white. Boom. Nice. So now, I'm not sure if Flyaway on Salmons is eliminated completely, or if it just won't work over Flygon. My guess is that it just won't work over Flygon. So maybe I can bait him into taking his Salmons all the way over this side of the board, and maybe I'll just hunt him down. That's what I'm going to do. Still can't attack Gabite. This is really a terrible deck for me to try to show some of the stuff, although they're not so strong that evolutions. Oh, okay, so here. So Draco Meteor means that I can pick any Pokemon on the field to respin. If they roll a white of 70 or more, they're knocked out. And if they roll a miss, they're knocked out. So, Salmance would be a good one to choose. But I think I want to just get rid of this Gabite if possible. And that looks like a miss. Boom. Nice. So, 50. Let's march down here. Maybe he will bring out. He wants to go for that avenue. Searing Shot, which is nice. You get the burn, but it does not displace the Pokemon, so you don't get credit for the evolution there. I'm going to use another double chance just because I really want to get this evolution off. And now that he's burned, I have a good chance of doing that. And I will respin if it's purple. Oh no. Alright, well now we have to respin, and 50 is not going to beat 60 anyways, so that didn't work out well. I will also, since I'm not in any threat here at the moment, maybe 50 on a miss. 50 on a miss. No. I'm also going to take the Land's Energy Plate, which instead of it spinning all of the opponents on the field. Again, if they land on purple, they're out. But that is actually going to constitute my move, much like the Cosmic Plate does for the Deoxys. So that was my move, but now, if we roll the 70, then everybody's going to spin. And I believe what the Land's Wrath Plate does is it keeps your team from respinning, it's just the opponent's. So, we need this X attack, because even with him burned, of course this will be the time that he lands on the miss and I land on the 50, and then I will have wasted my extra 30 points. But had we not had it, then we wouldn't have been able to evolve, and that's what this video is about. So now our Charizard goes to 90 Dragon Tail and 60 for the respins, and he gains a 1 MP. And another good thing about this is Dragon Tail? If you roll Dragon Tail and you lose, the opponent goes back to the bench as well. So let's see if we can get a really big re-roll here and do just massive amounts of damage. No. It's really boring. And I could probably easily just win this, but I don't want to lose, but I'm trying not to win just yet. But you can see how powerful now Charizard is. Just 50 with respins. I can't tell. That looks like probably 60% of his plate at the moment is respinning 60. If you think about how Deoxys attack is 130, it's only going to take 3 of these to completely destroy that. The caveat is you have to get to this point, which is not always easy. You saw that I'm trying to do that and I struggled. I can't attack Gabite. We'll just go here. He's not going to slide under me because then he just knocks himself out. Okay, so he is going to take that and get himself knocked out. Definitely don't want. And there's really nothing else for me to do here because I'm trying to figure out a way to not lose, but to get Pulpitar. Oh, you know, I should have let that go, so then we could try to trigger Zygarde's. No. And he didn't like that I was just playing around. So that's the end of that. We'll do one more and see if we can't trigger off the rest of those evolutions. I will play for real. I'll play as if it was a normal match this time. Let me see if I can find, that's a locked room. Here, Raya. Boom. We're gonna try one more. But I think you kind of get the idea. We didn't show Land's Wrath. Oh, there we go. So none of the Deoxys, double spin. He doesn't have the Deoxys attack, so Metagross is kind of going to go unused once again. He doesn't have anybody with Fly Away, so that is of no use. But he does have 2 Deoxys speeds, and I have 2 runners. So let's just. I have a feeling Pulpitar is going to get a lot more use once people figure out how good it can be. It does have 50, it does have 20, which is a little underwhelming, but it only has 2 miss at level 3, so at level 5 there's no miss. And he's going to be great at taking out runners like Deoxys here. So let's do this. If we don't land here, it's GG, but I feel confident that we can, with the double spin, I feel confident we can trigger an evolution here. Nice. Didn't even need it. So with a lineup like this one, yes, absolutely we want to evolve. Now that Tyranitar went from 1 MP to 2 MP, he's a very viable character. And if he lands on Earthquake, they're going to spin their wheel to see if they land on purple. You could have a bunch of spinning going on and people getting knocked out left and right. He has one hurdle jump. I can cover that. So we're going to drop this guy in here. We're just in that turn there. I really don't think he's going to hurdle jump me. Leafeon. We're going to use a double chance. Let's just see if we can't trigger both these evolutions right off the bat. I run the risk of falling asleep here. But, ooh, only because, nice. Only because of the video did I do that. Normally I would have just taken the burn. Perfect. So now we triggered both the big evolutions that I wanted to trigger. And you can see my 110 Earthquake is now 120. That is a very sizable damage. That is a lot of damage on the wheel. It is a big miss. You do run a big risk there with the miss, but he's a very formidable opponent. And if he rolls his 120, which is a huge chunk, I'd say it's more than a quarter, probably 30% of his wheel, then people are spinning. Speaking of spinning, let's take Land's energy, activate that, and look at his Charizard compared to mine. 50 and 80 versus my 60 and 90. And I don't think I have to tell you which one is better. So, what do we have left? Hurdle jump, X attack. Let's just, not really there. We're actually just going to go after him because that should be a pretty easy. There's a lot of ways we can win on this one. And is that the only way we could have tied? Yeah. That was his best case scenario, actually, is that we tie. Or that I roll a miss. Hurdle jump. Ah! Now. Don't want to do that. Deoxys speed can't take out Charizard. I didn't even notice that I left myself open to that. Let's just move you there. Being a dragon type, if they do get the 1 MP buff on the next gym, if they're part of the next gym cup, Zygarde could create some problems because he is a gold attack. Now, I will say with the Reuniclus decks out there, he is very susceptible to confusion, and being confused is terrible for him. So you do want to keep mindful of that. That may actually, given the current meta, limit the use that he gets. But in the Gym Cup, if he gets a buff of 1 MP, that's 100 damage, a 70, a 50 gold. That's pretty substantial. I've got all these tanks on the field right now. And one thing I didn't point out, and he's in the PC right now, but Tyranitar, Pupitar went from 3 MP and Tyranitar is only 2 MP, so you do lose some mobility. You do lose some mobility when you do the evolution, but the strength that you get more than pays off for it. I'll just throw him up there. I probably need to get on the offensive a little bit if I actually am trying in this one. And nice, so we triggered all 3 of the evolutions. That's great. So while evolutions are difficult to come by, and a lot of times they're hard to trigger, the fact that we're playing someone ranked in the 2000s, I didn't really go out of my way to trigger the evolutions. I did use double chances, but my team is a lot stronger now than the one that I started with. And with Flyaway, this could be game over. No, we're gonna go to sleep. Let's go ahead. And I really feel in this lineup, Charizard probably is not a great defender, simply because he gets destroyed by purples. That is something to keep in mind. He's probably more offensive. I just have him stuck back in a position where I need him to be defensive. But keep that in mind if you have him. And wow, this Leafeon's going to put my entire team to sleep. Let's just go there. Take the sleep off of Mew. It's funny to me about Mew is against some of the most powerful Pokemon in the game, he's a monster. But against the evolutions and little things like that, he really struggles, actually. So it's super interesting to me that something so fragile can be so good against the powerhouses, but very vulnerable to weaker attackers. The evolutions, the Deoxys speeds. 40 beats his 30. And he's going to block that. Well, here's the good news. I have a ton of firepower on my back line. Saw that coming. Man, is there really any chance that you lose to him other than a miss? I do miss. Hey. Alright. So then he's going to drop his Leafeon. You drop you back. He's going to drop his Leafeon right into here. And then I get to pick. Definitely not going to attack the Leafeon just because I don't want to be put to sleep here. And the Metagross should be able to... Man. Switch. I still should be able to... My only problem is if I roll the 30, but actually that's okay because now I want to change my strategy. Because his Charizard is only 1 MP, I'm going to change my strategy because it's going to take him a while to get over here. 1, 2, 3. Let's go there. I should be able to knock him out here. Okay, I only got one spin of 60, but that's all that I needed. He's probably going to replace that because he doesn't want me to get another Mon out. But who knows? Okay, so he went the other route. Oh, Andy's going to attack. There was no benefit to him attacking, I don't think. Other than now my guy's asleep. Wasn't that crazy? Alright, so basically, this Leafeon is going to single-handedly run through my squad. Look at that. Now I don't even know. My whole team is asleep. And I guess I should have... Well, no, I had to move him back. But he's going to tap him there. That's going to eliminate Charizard. And I think that's a weight win for him, because I don't think I can do anything. I could hurl jump. Let me just use X attack. Huh. Well, there you go. Leafeon just shows how valuable he can be by putting the entire team to sleep. You got to get incredibly, incredibly lucky. He does have a sizable, it's probably 30-35% of his wheel is the sleep. But it's only 1 star. And if you're relying on the sleep to be your go-to attack, you're probably not going to be very successful. He was successful there, but you know, it is. You saw what happened. So, anyways, I got to show you the stuff that I wanted to show you, except for the Land's Wrath spinning of the wheel. So other than that, everything else, and that is how these new characters work. So let me ask you guys, are the new evolutions, does that encourage you to use pre-evolutions and try to evolve up? Is the risk reward, is the trade-off worth it to you? And do you think that the pre-evolutions are just so weak that there's no use, and characters like Charizard and Tyranitar, even with their updates, still have no place in the game and in the new meta? Let me know in the comments below, and that's going to do it for today's episode, and I will catch you guys next time.